I think we can all agree on the fact that no matter how good your video looks, if the audio is this bad, then it will take away from the experience of the viewer. And you being the viewer, you can be the judge of that. Now on the flip side, what if you give your viewer something that not only looks good, but sounds good, and to the creator out there, yourself, something that sounds good, cancels excess noise automatically, is a one-man band, is a good piece of equipment to have in general, and gives you backup audio? Well, all this on a budget is a bit of a joke, isn't it? But to my surprise, when Neewer reached out to me with their CM28 Pro, it kind of blew me away with what it can offer for something under $100. And it's crazy to me because the kind of things that this thing offers is something that you see in much more expensive piece of gear. You know, the big problem in the audio industry at the moment is the fact that good audio is really expensive and cheap audio equipment doesn't offer much to the viewer or to the creator itself. So of course, when Neewer reached out to me with the CM28 Pro, it did look absolutely phenomenal on paper, but I have to put it to the test, don't I? Now, of course, because Neewer did reach out to me, this is something that they've sent over to me for the purpose of this review, but I'm not getting paid to say anything because that's not how we work on this channel. So I'm going to give you the ins and outs, the good and the bad, and I can say whatever the fuck I want about this product because if it's not honest, I might as well just stop making these videos right now. So let's get subscribed, drop a like, and let's start by comparing this thing to the world's most popular microphone out there, your smartphone. So since COVID, a lot of people have gone into the content creation space and the primary source of audio and video is their smartphone. So what you hear right now is being directly recorded into the Galaxy S24 Ultra, and this by no means is the best audio you can get out there, but just to average things out, this is the more common source of audio when it comes to recording yourself. Now, I think for a lot of people, this is still perfect. Don't get me wrong, it's still one of the better pieces of kit that you can have for anybody who's starting content creation or somebody who's into making more casual content. But if you start getting into that professional video side of things, this is just not going to cut it for very long. And this is where I would say you should invest into a good mic setup. But again, it doesn't have to be very expensive. Let's have a look at what the CM28 Pro offers when I connect that into my mic instead. Okay, so this is now connected into the S24 Ultra. Let me just get up for this. And this is exactly what it's going to sound like when you plug and play. So I haven't turned on any noise cancellation, noise reduction, none of that. I'm not going to edit this audio so you get an exact idea of what this sounds like because I know plug and play is very important for the people shooting on their phones. So this is exactly what you get. At the same time, just to bear in mind, any sort of adapter, any sort of cable that you might need to use this with your phone, with your camera, with your iPhone from 10 years ago, it is all included because you get a TRS to TRS cable to use with your camera, a Lightning to TRS cable to use with your older iPhones, a USB-C to TRS to use with your Androids and iPhones, the newer iPhones, and of course you get your USB-C to USB-C cable for the charging of the entire cradle. But yes, this is what it sounds like. You be the judge, let me know what you think. And this is the end of the first part, which is the most straightforward, the more easy part to demonstrate because this is just plug and play. Now, we have to get into some big boy territory. We're gonna have to go into some nerdy stuff and see what this mic is really all about when it comes to the technicality of it. So let's get into it. So stupid me didn't actually realize that I had to adjust my gain levels on my camera, so I have to sort of record this part again. But coming back to where I was, I wanted to answer one of the main questions that people would have when it comes to buying a kit like this. Now, when you spend under 100 quid on audio equipment, depending on what you are getting, that might not look like a lot of money, or to some people it might look like a lot of money, and that's completely fine. But for everything that this thing offers, it is not a lot of money. And the only way to put it to the test is by putting it to the test. So, does it actually sound good? And is the noise cancellation really that nice? Or is it just there to go on a piece of paper and make this thing look pretty for people to come and buy? What you hear right now is being recorded directly into my camera mic, into my camera with this mic. And I've got the transmitter plugged on top of my camera with it being connected into my camera via a TRS cable. And of course, this is feeding directly into it. Now, currently you can also see that there's only one light on my mic itself, which means that there's no noise cancellation turned on. What I'm going to do now is turn on some noise in the background. You let me know what you think about the noise cancellation. It's only one button away. I'll show you what it is and we'll go from there. So this is max volume, by the way. The audio is coming from my monitor. some random noise in the background. This is me speaking on top of it. And the one thing I want you guys to look out for is once I turn the noise cancellation on, does this affect my audio or does it actually just separate me from the background and get rid of the background noise? So let's do that. It is one button away, which is the set button at the bottom. I click that once and I should have a second light turn on. Just like so. So now it should have separated my voice from the background by a decent amount. It says about 80 dB of noise cancellation, so I'm not exactly sure if that's going to be very accurate for a lot of people, but this is more of a real life situation. You let me know what that sounds like, because I'm going to be listening to this once it is in the edit, and that's when I will have my opinion, but you guys will be the first one to judge. Now it's time to get into a little bit more nerdy stuff. Now, when I say nerdy stuff, I just want to see what this audio is capable of after you've done editing the audio a little bit. Now, by no means am I an audio engineer. I don't really do much to my audio. For me, editing my audio comes down to two things, which is open DaVinci and turn on AI dialogue leveler and AI noise reduction. That's it. That's my audio done. And usually, it does a really damn good job of getting everything together and having it sound good. So let's see what that sounds like. And then I'll show you an alternative if you don't have DaVinci Resolve. So here's the audio test. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Mic check, 1, 2. And what's the other line? The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Yeah, I would never remember that, by the way. Let's look into what Adobe's free speech enhance tool can do. For the people who don't have access to DaVinci Resolve, who just don't use DaVinci Resolve, all it's going to do is use AI to level everything out and make your audio sound more professional. So here's the before and after for that. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Mic check, 1, 2. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Mic check, 1, 2. Cool, so now that you've heard Adobe's way of using AI to edit your audio, let me know what you think. And the only reason I'm showing this is because a lot of people out there are not going to be editing their audio themselves. Not everybody out there has the aptitude or the know-how of how to edit your audio, and that's including me. I don't know how to play with audio at all, so hey, I'm leading by example. But I think leveraging these AI tools is a big way to get very good audio out of a pretty decent setup to begin with. Now again, bear in mind for the people who know what audio is all about, this is 24-bit audio and not 32-bit, which means it doesn't have all that much amount of data to play with. And once again, if you don't know what that means, ignorance is bliss, and what you hear is exactly what you get. Okay, so now you know what this mic sounds like, but let's talk about reliability for a second. This mic comes with a pre-built preset called Mono Safety, and all it does is records in 2 separate channels, left and right, but quite different to a stereo channel. So stereo would actually record left and right channels separately. All this is doing is using one of the channels to record straight into your audio equipment, which could be your phone, which could be your laptop, your camera, and then it's using the other channel to record 6 decibels lower as a backup in its inbuilt storage. So yes, these mics actually do come with 4 gigabytes of storage inside, which is plenty to record up to 9 hours of uncompressed 24-bit audio. So I think that is pretty damn good when it comes to having that backup, and pretty good if your hardware goes bust. So if I'm recording right now and my camera suddenly stops and it's not recording, I'm actually going to be able to use the Mono Safety mode and get the audio out from the actual mic itself and then use that to play with something. So hey, it's not as good as maybe having the full-fledged audio with yourself, but it's still better than having nothing. At this price point, this is absolutely unheard of. You will not be seeing a lot of equipment out there giving you Mono Safety or backup recording unless you're spending quite a bit over what you get this for. Bear in mind, this mic does vary between $70 and $100 depending on the kind of sale that's going on, and currently on Neewer's website as well, it is 30% off due to Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So hey, if anything, this might be a call to get this thing. Now another thing that people do really care about when they're getting wireless audio is the range that it offers. What Neewer is doing is giving us an uninterrupted range of 200 meters. Now take that with a huge pinch of salt, because uninterrupted range means absolutely nothing between the receiver and the mic itself. So if you do plan on being quite a bit away from your camera and using this microphone, you have to make sure that there's nothing between you and the camera or the transmitter itself, because otherwise you are going to hear some crackling, you're going to hear some issues. Okay, so it is raining, so I don't exactly know how good this is going to be, but the camera is inside of my house. I've got the mic hooked up to me. There is a layer of grass. There's a layer of glass in front of me. So I'm going to start walking in the other direction, see how far I can take this. I'm currently about 10, 12 feet away. So I'm going to start walking with my back towards the camera, and let's see if that glass is big enough of an obstacle to just mess up the audio. I hope you guys can still hear me though, but I'm just going to keep walking and see at what point say, I want to say about 40 feet, 50 feet away. I don't know how much would make much difference. This is not at all 200 meters, but this should be far enough for pretty much everybody out there who's using a camera to use their mics. I don't think anybody's going further than this in any case, but I hope you guys are able to hear me. There's going to be a car ahead of me. Let's see if this is good enough to block the signal. Is it? I don't think so. Okay, I'm going to keep walking. Let's go behind these cars. What are you doing? What is he doing? I have no idea. Why is he doing what I bet he's doing? Who knows at this point? Cool. If you couldn't hear me then, I'm pretty sure you should be able to hear me now. But yeah, I'm gonna come back in. Wait, where's my... Oh my god, I forgot my fucking keys at home. Shit. So, what do you think? Still just as good? Let me know in the comments down below and we can have a chat. So you've heard everything nice to do with the CM28 Pro. You're probably already very impressed by what it offers, but it does not come without its downsides. And when I say downsides, the first thing I want to talk about is the build quality. Because this cradle, the mics, and the transmitter itself are entirely made of plastic. The one thing I will give it though is that the transmitter has a screen which you can monitor everything on, which is fabulous for the price. But in terms of build quality, I'm not hugely impressed. It is all very, very plastic, and it is not even the best kind of plastic that you can get. Of course, you know, this is very subjective. I personally don't like using this kind of plastic. It does feel slightly on the cheaper side, but it only feels cheap if you're coming from something like a DJI Mic Mini or a DJI Mic 2, Mic 3, something on those lines. When it comes to this cradle, yes, it is somewhat plastic as well, but the plastic used here is far better than what is being used with the newer products. The second thing is that the DJI mics allow you to carry a lot of accessories within the box itself. So that could be your cable, that would be your mics, your transmitter, the dead cats on top of them. And I also have my, adapter for my phone in there as well. So that just makes one full package that I can carry anywhere and I don't need anything else. But the second thing, or the other thing with the CM28 Pro is the fact that because these are the same size as the DJI Mic Mini, the same size of cradle, pretty much the same size as the cradle, it houses full-size mics. So because they've got full-size mics, there's not enough space for you to keep your cables, your adapters, your dead cats even on the mic themselves. So you're going to have to carry with yourself a separate pouch, which luckily is included in the box as well, to keep all the extra accessories. So you do have to carry two packages with yourself. It just takes a little bit more space for you when you're on the go. But as long as you've got everything, you should be fine. But it just takes that extra little bit of time to set everything up, put your dead cat on, get the cable out, plug it into the mic, and then call it a day. And then the third thing, as I mentioned, is the 24-bit audio. But all things considered, 24-bit audio is decent enough for you to get some more information out of it. But it is not crazy enough like a 32-bit audio, which will give you worlds apart of a difference. So take that with what you will. It doesn't matter to you if you don't know what that means once again, but it is something that you can't simply ignore. All in all, I think all the trade-offs that come with the CM28 Pro are really worth it because you can get this for so cheap sometimes that it doesn't even matter. So a lot of the times you'll end up finding this thing for about £70, £80, but you can get this for as little as £60, £65 every now and then. Just go to the website. I don't have a discount code for you, but I will leave some links for you down below, which would be affiliate links. So if you can use those to grab yourself this, if you're planning to grab yourself, it will help me out immensely. With all that being said, please let me know what you think about the newer CM28 Pro. If you think you're going to get one for yourself, if you think it's not so good, or if you think it is brilliant and exactly what you were looking for. I'm more than happy to listen to everything. Let's have a chat in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys later.